In the pantheon of video games, there are many whose stories must be told, but none have worn so many faces as the manifestation as seen in WWE2K24. The entity behind so many of WWE's most supernatural characters. Welcome to Saberjewel Gaming, and welcome to the story of the manifestation in WWE2K24. Our story starts with the Captain, a young but seasoned female wrestler in the WWE. During her progression through the ranks, she comes into contact with Alexa Bliss and wants her advice on being able to contact a darker side to her personality. Alexa Bliss warns her of something that allowed her to do this, an amulet that has been passed from wrestler to wrestler, including the likes of the Undertaker and Demon Finn Balor. She agrees to pass this on to the Captain, who next steps into the ring against Gigi Dolan. Even by the Captain's competent standards, she dispenses of Gigi Dolan with ease and feels more powerful than ever. On winning the match, she is soon contacted by Alexa Bliss, who guesses that from what she has seen, the Captain used the amulet. Captain confirms she wore it under her ring attire and is now feeling more powerful than ever. Gigi Dolan confronts the Captain, saying there was something not quite right about her in the ring and demands a rematch. But the Captain's tone starts to become cool and eerie. In their rematch, Gigi Dolan struggles to even land a blow, and suddenly, without any real understanding as to why, the Captain is able to levitate her opponent, freezing her mid-air before unleashing a barrage of attacks, beating Gigi Dolan to the confusion of the crowd and even herself. The Captain has always been a competent and hardcore style wrestler, but she has never stepped to these levels, and right in the middle of the ring, wrenches out and breaks Gigi Dolan's arm as the referee calls for the bell. With the Captain slowly morphing into someone far more dangerous than she's ever been, Alexa Bliss confronts her and wonders if maybe the darkness is controlling her too much. But soon it is clear that the Captain has evolved or descended into something far more dangerous. Taking on board a new attire, she is able to levitate down to the ring and no longer hides the amulet under her ring attire. Instead, she wears it proudly around her neck as she slowly and cruelly saunters to the ring, floating the camera up above. Everyone can tell that something has changed. But even the crowd that saw this were not prepared for what came next. During her match against Mia Yim, the Captain was able to levitate and suck the soul directly out of her opponent before dropping her lifeless to the mat and coldly placing a foot on top to gain the 3 count and yet another brutal victory. With the amulet now openly exposed to the WWE Universe, it's now more powerful than ever, and instead of controlling just one person, is reaching out to regain control over Finn Balor, who it previously controlled as the Demon. The Captain believes that she is in control, however, and encourages Finn Balor to help her gain more victims and stand in her corner as she gains victory after victory. Finn Balor's determined to resist, but soon he again gets caught under its spell, and with her assistance in beating Damian Priest, Finn Balor finally feels the amulet's power flowing through him once more, and soon, with a bit of supernatural spookery, the lights dim, and when they come back up, the Captain in her manifestation attire is joined by Demon Finn Balor as they are set to run roughshod across the company. Alexa Bliss begs and pleads with the Captain that this has gone too far, and to try and appeal to her humanity, reminds her of her old friend, Psycho Sally, someone that had been something of a protege to the captain and was struggling in NXT. Many people are, because of their association, accusing Psycho Sally of only having success because of interference from the captain and her new supernatural powers. This is partly confirmed when the captain arrives in NXT and takes out one of Psycho Sally's opponents, before Psycho Sally is then able to go on and garner another win. Psycho Sally begs the captain not to get involved. She doesn't want any part of this demonic behaviour, and some part of the captain is able to listen and doesn't get involved when Psycho Sally would go on to win the Queen of the Ring. Perhaps the first sign that a little bit of the captain remains. Soon after, the amulet is taken, however, perhaps realising that it's losing its control on the captain. When the captain finds out that Asuka was the one that took it, she attacks her backstage and rips it from her chest and begins her attack. However, the amulet, no longer wanting to be controlled by someone showing humanity and weakness, disappears. Asuka and the captain go head to head, both trying to tap in to the amulet's powers, using its abilities with a connection to the amulet still clear. However, when both of them are able to use the same powers, each time fueling the amulet, making it stronger, thinking that they are tapping into its powers, but instead it is tapping into theirs. The captain is able to get a victory over Asuka, but soon afterwards, she crumbles to the ground exhausted. Every ounce of her energy has been soaked and taken away by the amulet. She is no longer the manifestation of the amulet's powers. She is simply the amulet's victim. Waking up backstage, the captain is back to her normal self. She no longer carries the amulet's connection, and Alexa Bliss warns her that this is going to carry some unforeseen circumstances. The amulet has grown more powerful than when it controlled Kane, Finn Balor, Papa Shango, or even the Fiend, and now the manifestation of it has come to life. The captain will have to go head to head, not with the amulet, but the demonic entity that was always behind it and always behind each of those famous, iconic wrestling characters. All of their powers, all of their supernatural abilities came from this creature, the manifestation. Standing well over 7 feet tall, this massive female demon towered across the crowd and made its way slowly to the ring. All of the abilities, the movements, the swagger, the postures that the captain had been demonstrating clearly were being directed by this, and with the amulet buried in its chest, it carried all of those powers and many more. The captain would go head to head and nearly had her own soul ripped out by the manifestation, but she fought bravely and was able to take the creature down. In a darkened arena with the crowd looking on in horror and shock, the captain was finally able to put away the manifestation for good. She was dazed, confused, and unsure what this even was. But before she could get any real understanding, the lights flickered out, and when they came back up, the manifestation and the amulet was gone. At least for now. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take the high ground.